Harry Potter, Doctor Who and Game of Thrones fans all had a chance to meet their idols this weekend as Winchester hosted a brand new pop culture convention. WinCon was held in the city's Discovery Centre and organisers were keen to create a welcoming environment.
There's a lot of Comic-Cons, there's a lot of events, there's a lot of niche places where people feel comfortable, they can express their own fandoms, and we realised that in terms of Hampshire there isn't really one similar to it. Why not give the local people a chance to express themselves and have a convention of their own that they could call their own, really?
A range of exhibitors came, selling books and memorabilia. One local YouTube star was showing off his robots made from 3D printing. His future might just lie in his past.
I've been making things since I was a child, and I just like robots a lot, really, but mostly it's from driving YouTube views, so that's why they're dressed up as characters rather than building a generic robot. And after we finish with Bender from Futurama, we're going to do another character on top of the same chassis. So it's all about the show.
Outside, children came alive painting, while inside, those playing games were deadly serious. Fantasy became reality for Game of Thrones enthusiasts as they could meet Miranda, who shared the privilege.
I'm always really touched and really overwhelmed when I meet the fans. You forget sometimes because we're so caught up in our own interacting world, but there are people who are obsessed with these franchises and with these shows, and it's I find it really an honour that I get to be a part of something that gives someone so much joy.
One actor, famous for playing monsters in Doctor Who, was glad he took the time to travel here.
As a kid, I loved the movies, and I especially liked any behind-the-scenes footage. So the opportunity to kind of meet the fans, talk to them about how things are done and how things are made, I know how much joy it's given me in the past, so I know that they really appreciate that also.
Young got to dress up as their on-screen heroes. Old too. These fans became friends at a similar convention. Here's Lady Hobbit on why others joined the Dressing Up Fellowship.
People find things that they can relate to in characters and in stories and scenarios, and it makes it sort of ever relatable for many different people, which is why representation in pop culture is so important. And it's sort of being able to see yourself in storylines and characters, and it just sort of gives people something to escape with from reality, because reality can be quite boring sometimes. So if you get to spend a weekend dressed as a character from something that you love, then it's you don't have to think in the same way, and it's very cathartic.
From one magical world to another, with one Harry Potter actor's take on the day.
I think it's great to celebrate your love of something, and I think sometimes there's no better way than doing that than dressing up as a wizard. Quite honestly, and I think that's brilliant. And I love that people just wander through town now dressed, on their way to a convention, dressed up in their Hogwarts robes or whatever. I think it's brilliant. I love them.
Seems like these conventions don't just celebrate popular culture though.
It makes me feel like included, because I was always like the weird kid who liked comics at like secondary school and primary school, and now I've just found a community that feels sort of all together.
But for some, WinCon was just a place to potter around. This is John Wilson for That's Solent.